All right, folks. My story is a little bit different than most musicians out there. I kind of took a long way around to get to where I am. But I'll start from the beginning when I was a kid. I had two loves, and one of them was sports, and one of them was music. And so at the end of this story, it gets a little bit spiritual also. And you might think I'm crazy when you hear it, that's okay too. I'll give you a little warning on that. So anyway, as a kid, I was either playing baseball, football, soccer, any kind of sport you can think of. Or I was playing music in my living room. My dad taught me how to play Wildwood Flower on the guitar when I was a kid. And I'll never forget it. I said, if I can just play that one song, that's all I want to play the rest of my life. And of course, once you play one song, you want to keep learning more and more. And so, as time went on, when I got into middle school and high school, I devoted all my time to athletics. And but I always had music on the back burner. So when I would come home from school, I was either going outside throwing a ball against the wall, or if the weather was bad, I would stay inside and play air guitar to my favorite music. And so I went on through high school. I ended up getting a scholarship to play baseball and football to Catawba College in Salisbury, North Carolina. And after college, through college, I kept a guitar in my dorm room, and I learned the power of a guitar when you're playing music, and I learned that the girls like a guitar. And so that was probably the first awakening that I had that, hey, maybe I want to do this and start a band one day. But so you get the kind of gist. I'm now in my college days, and I've never had a band. I've just always devoted all my time to athletics and played guitar on the side. So after college, I ended up playing 2 years of minor league baseball. So I ended up playing upstate New York for 2 seasons, and then I ended up playing in Kalamazoo, Michigan for another year. Yeah, Kalamazoo. And so ended up not making it to the big leagues. I got hurt. I came home and I ended up getting signed by Arena League football team, of all things. Young member Arena League. And so I played Arena League football for a year. Ended up getting hurt. It's fine. And so I figured out I was not going to make it to the major leagues or the NFL. So I came home with my tail stuck between my legs and trying to figure out what I was going to do for a living. Didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know how to do anything else besides play sports. And so I took a job in construction, and I did that for a couple of years. Ended up getting into sales. I started selling mobile homes, and did that for a couple of years, and I finally started making money for the first time in my life. I had money. And so after a couple of years of that, I decided to start my own real estate and construction company. And me and two of my buddies decided to go in together and start a company called Highland Realty. And we basically just drew a name out of a hat for Greenville. We didn't know where we were going, but we chose Greenville as our destination. So this was back in '03, I guess. And started a real estate construction company. And for the first 2 or 3 years, we were doing great. I was making more money than I could ever imagine for me. And I could do anything I wanted to do for 2 or 3, 4 years. But I wasn't happy. There was something missing. And along that time, I started hanging out with some guys in North Carolina called Sonny Lever. There's a band, they've been at it for years. I started touring around with them. And they got me on stage for the first time. We were at a rodeo, and the singer he was so drunk he couldn't sing anymore. So they called me up to fill in for him. And so I got in front of like 500 people, and I played Johnny Cash and Hank Jr., whatever I knew. And I got that feeling of what it's like to be on stage. And I wanted to have more of it. And so along that time, this is kind of where it gets spiritual, I guess. I was hanging around with a guy named Jared Foster, who was a track coach at Clemson at the time. And he was a real good buddy of mine. We hung out about every day, and he was a songwriter, guitar player. And one morning, I think it was 2006, he was at my house, we were eating breakfast, and he was trying to get me to go down to Lake Piedmont, go jet skiing. And I was already had plans to go bowling here in town. So I ended up trying to talk him into going bowling. He ended up going riding jet skis. I went bowling. We said we meet that night downtown at Chicora Alley. So I get to Chicora Alley, and I get a phone call from another friend. He said, Jared's been in an accident. And he fell off the back of a jet ski. Another jet ski hit him. And we don't think he's going to make it. So I said, all right, well, I'm coming down there. And so I drove down to the hospital, and I said, I got to be there when his parents get there, because they actually called back and said Jared didn't make it. So I wanted to be there. Yeah, it's going in now. Can y'all hear me okay like this? So anyway, I get down to the hospital. I wanted to be there when his parents got there, because his parents didn't know anybody. I said, can you imagine his parents getting down there and not knowing a soul in that hospital? So I drove down there, and his parents finally got there at 4 in the morning. The doctor let me go back to see Jared on his deathbed. And I talked to him, I said my goodbyes. His parents get there, I hug them, do the best I can with that. And so I drove home that night. I was living over in Overbrook at the time. And I got home about 6 in the morning. I was exhausted, fell asleep. But that night I had a dream. I was sitting on my front porch with Jared. And we were swinging, and he was laughing and smiling. And he looked at me and he said, Greg, you see all those houses over there, those $1 million houses? And I said, yeah. He said, Greg, you don't need that. He said, you need to play music. He said, you and Winslow, the guy I was living with at the time, y'all gonna die soon. And I was like, what? I'll never forget it in my dream. I said, I was scared. He started laughing at me. He said, no, Greg, I don't know when you're gonna die, but you're gonna die soon. You're not gonna be here forever. He said, the only thing that makes you happy is playing music. And so I woke up from that dream, and you might think I'm crazy, but it wasn't a dream. It was real. Nobody can ever tell me it was just a coincidence or a dream. And I'll never forget that. So that next morning when I woke up, I decided that I'm gonna do what I wanna do. And that's, a lot of it's because of Jared. And so I ended up, over the next few weeks and months, I sold my part of the business, and I called some buddies up. I said, hey, we're gonna start a band, we're gonna do this, and I let everything go. House got foreclosed, and credit went to shit. I always had good credit till then. But anyway, I don't have any regrets over it. I started the band full-time around 2008. 2020 now, I can't believe it, and I've been doing it full-time ever since. We've toured the country, got people all over the world listening to our music. We've got 5 or 6 albums out. In the studio right now recording another one. And I tell people all the time, I said, I don't have any money, I don't have a dime in my name, basically, but I wouldn't trade the friendships I've made for $1 billion. And that's the way I feel about it. And music has been the avenue to get me all across this country and all over the world with our music, basically. And without music, I would have never touched lives and made the friendships that I have now. So in a nutshell, that's my story. And I was trying to go in the middle. It's weird. That's okay though. All right, that's okay. So anyway, this song here is one I wrote a long time ago. We were playing downtown a lot when we first started. And we'd have these after parties at my house, the one that got foreclosed. You never know who was going to show up at the house. Jeff Buchanan might show up at the house. Hey, Jeff. But we had a lot of people come to our house after parties, and you wake up in the morning and you're crawling over people. You didn't know who was there. Well, one morning I was laying on the couch and this girl walks down the hallway. I don't know who she was there with. She walks down the hallway and she looks at me and I got one eye open. She says, "Greg Payne, you're the devil, and I pray to God that I'll never hang out with you again." I said, "Fair enough, okay." I wrote a song called "She Prays to God." What makes her crazy, God only knows. Could be the tablet, the highs and the lows. She's got a problem, Lord, don't we all? It's not how she stumbles, but how graceful she falls. Flyers may lose us, and we'd all fall stone, straight to the ground and forever alone. She prays to God, the devil won't take her home. Her prayers are all answered, I'm left alone. Her prayers are all answered, I'm left alone. And she lives for weekends, sashay around, drinking and dancing with the lawyers downtown. Whenever the thought of that boy comes to mind, she hits the highway, broken white line. Liars may lose us, and we'd all fall stone, straight to the ground and forever alone. She prays to God, the devil won't take her home. Her prayers are all answered, I'm left alone. Her prayers are all answered, I'm left alone. And liars may lose us, we'd all fall stone, straight to the ground and forever alone. She prays to God that I won't take her home. Her prayers are all answered, but I'm not alone. Her prayers are all answered, but I'm not alone. Thank you.